Hey guys, and welcome back to Churn Farms. So it is day 4 of early winter, and we are just getting done lunch, and we are now going to head on up to the cow farm because we've got some manure we need to put down on the new field that we just bought, and we just got reminded the other day of needing to put or finish putting manure down over here on I think field 9, which is the big cornfield that we chaffed up for silage. So that's what we're going to be doing this afternoon. We have been busy the last few days of winter. We ground down a whole bunch of stumps up on the hill there where we did our forestry back in the spring of this year, and got all those stumps cleared away. We also went ahead and well, we've been taking care of our animals, we've been taking care of our new greenhouses, and we went ahead and transferred the grain, wheat, from the we transferred the wheat from the arable farm silo over to the pig farm silo, so that we will be able to have the food there to feed the pigs. And we left the barley over at the arable farm silo, so we're going to use the barley to sell for crop or for to market, and the wheat is what we're going to use to feed our pigs. So we've got barley and soybeans for seed, or for market, and we've got canola, wheat, and corn and potatoes for our pigs. To also catch you up, we've emptied out the root storage building and went ahead and dismantled that. Because we went and put our remaining potatoes in the building enclosure that's over at the pig farm, so that it's there under roof. We can use the shovel to scoop them up and put them in the feed trough. So that's what we've also done in the last few days. And I have to say, the forecast for this winter so far is fairly mild. Let's go ahead and pull up the forecast here and take a look. We've got we got 7 days of cloudy weather, and 5 of those 7 days we have rain, but we don't have we're not getting any temperatures below freezing until Saturday, day 11. So that is when we're seeing some below freezing temperatures crop up, but still we have a high of 53 predicted for that day. So I am wondering if and when we're going to get a frozen ground condition this winter. Really not sure what the winters are like here at Churn Valley, or basically here on the here in Wales, or the Wales area, the western area of England. So if anybody wants to, if anybody can comment on what kind of typical weather I should be seeing for winter, and if the weather that's being forecasted is typical or not. I'm a little curious on that. To finish this up, and really the astute will have caught on that this field was already fertilized. So I'm really not getting a benefit of putting the manure on right now, because we didn't really think everything through completely right after we harvested the corn. And I did come through and I did put solid fertilizer on this field. So that's one state of fertilization. We did go ahead and put manure on here, so that would have been one stage of fertilization, but since it was already fertilized, the manure doesn't count. But we do have the manure mod in place, so when we cultivate that field in spring, we will get a second level of fertilization out of that cultivation. So it's not a wasted application. It just shouldn't have applied that solid fertilizer. I could have saved a little bit of money there on that application. We're going to go ahead and run over to our new potato field, which is up on the hill where our where we were doing our logging, and we're going to go ahead and put manure on that, and that will give us one stage of fertilization. We will cultivate that field up come springtime. It will give us a second level of fertilization because we do have that manure mod in place. And then lastly, when we plant our potatoes, we will come back and put one more layer of fertilizer on the field. Either before, I guess we'll have to do it after, because the act of cultivating will give a fertilization state. So I won't be able to cultivate and put fertilizer down because it will already be fertilized, I guess. We're go ahead and come through here, and at some point we're going to have poplar to harvest. I don't know if we're going to get that during the winter. I don't know if poplar grows during the winter or if it goes dormant. I am looking forward to that poplar forecast because according to the map author, the poplar does regrow, which is something rather interesting and unique. I don't think that's a standard feature of the game. Alright, so this shouldn't take too terrible long. This is a fairly small field. It'll probably just be one pass. Might be a pass and a little bit down the middle to get this field. Turn our lights off. Just come down here. Go. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. We also need to plow this field. Got a fertilizer layer there. All of our fields are fertilized to at least stage 1, which is good. We'll need to plow field 16 this spring. And when we cultivate our oilseed radish in this field and these two fields, get ourselves some second layer of fertilization, cultivate our manure, we will get a fertilization layer on both fields 7 and 9. That'll get us up to 2. When we cultivate field 28 with chopped straw, we will get a fertilization level up to stage 2. And we're up to stage 2 on our grass field already. Somehow we're up to stage 2 on our old canola field already. It's rather interesting. So let me go ahead and take you on over here and show you where we de-stumped this field. And I mentioned the other day that I was thinking about putting some. You can see we've taken all the stumps out. We've got a little wood here and there, little wood chips, pieces of wood. So we went ahead and so I was, like I said, I was thinking about putting those some fruit trees over by the community farm, but now I'm thinking about just putting them up here, this area. And we moved up these light towers that were over at the shop for the special Giving Thanks episode. We're going to keep these. And basically we're going to move them up here, and we're going to use them for doing our forestry so that we've got a little more light, because it gets awful dark awful early here now that winter has come. Got 2 of those. Got those here. And like I said, we kept our POW truck that we showed off at the Giving Thanks episode. We kept our POW truck, and we went ahead and attached it to our log trailer, our AR log trailer, and this is what we're going to use to transport our logs now to the sell point. So we're pretty much all set to kind of get to logging, and I'm going to turn that off, to turn it on, but left it on. So we are actually probably going to get to logging here in a day or so. Just to change things up, I plan on leasing the Ponzi Ego, or Ergo. Take a look at that. Plan on leasing is the Ponzi Ergo for $22,000 for basically the day, because it's $10,000 per operating hour, $10,000 just to lease it, and $2,000 per day. Well, at 15 times speed, a day is basically an hour of real time. So we're going to lease it first thing in the morning, run up here, and basically cut as many trees down as we can during that hour of lease. And then we're going to sell it or return it right before that hour is reached. And then we're going to basically see how many logs we were able to cut and how much money we make from those logs. See if it was worth it or not. Should be able to cut substantially more logs with the Ergo than we could by hand with either the tractor saw or the chainsaw. So we should be able to earn but when we did it by hand, we were able to basically earn about $70,000 to $80,000 worth of lumber as a result of a day's effort of cutting logs. So I'm hoping with the Ergo we will be able to get over $100,000 worth of logs per day with the Ergo, which of course, if you factor in the lease cost, that would then be about $80,000. So it would basically be the equivalent of doing it by hand, no less at least. So I'm bringing this over here because I'm curious if I can empty this manure back in the pit or not. If not, then we're just going to have a whole bunch of manure in this spreader for quite a while. I'm a little curious if I can do a control I and empty it. Doesn't look like I can. Force unload. If I unfold it. If I turn it on. No, let's just waste it, I bet. Let's just waste it. If I can force unload it here, outside the pit. Nope. Doesn't look like I could force unload the manure spreader, so we're just going to have to leave it with manure in it, and we'll use it up at some point. Okay, the cows will make more, right? We'll just move it over here, and we'll park the manure spreader back here in this little nook where we had it before. No big deal. It'd be nice if there was a way to empty it. Of course, if we reset the spreader, it would be empty, but I didn't necessarily want to get rid of the manure. Just wanted to get it out of the spreader. Let's go back here. Hook up. Power food mixer. I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. This episode should be airing the day after Thanksgiving. And for those of you in the U.S., I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Everyone else, I hope you have a good Friday. December 26th, I believe. Will soon be the crazy holiday of Christmas and New Year's. Be honest, before we know it, and I am not looking forward to that because it is crazy time of the year. I'd rather just sit back and relax, but it seems like that's the last thing you ever get to do during these times of year. See if there's any eggs to pick up. Let's check and see how our silage situation is going. Got 149,000 liters of silage. That silo, we've got 713,000 liters of silage. Second silo, and we still have 215,000 liters of chaff in the silo to be converted to silage. We haven't converted it all because it's full. So we go through 10,000 liters of silage every 3 days. So I think we're going to have, well, we've got enough in the first silo for 15 mixings of TMR. Now, during winter, it seems like I'm mixing up 2 batches of TMR per feeding. So that's 20,000 liters every 3 days during winter. The 8, 7. Or 8. There would be 8 feedings during winter, so that's 8 times 20,000, so that's 160,000 liters. So we will basically empty this silo right around springtime and start working on that other silo. So I think we have more than enough silage to get us through till the next year. Probably won't need to plant as much silage or much corn, not as much silage. Probably won't need to plant as much corn next year, simply because of what we will have left over. Or what we can do is basically take the corn after we are done with our silage silos and take that corn down to the BGA. That's one thing that we've not gotten done. this year, as we did not get anything down to the BGA to get that operational. So that is kind of a goal for next year. We're going to go ahead and run down here to the milk plant and pick up our truck and deliver a load of milk. And that should close us out for the episode. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, if you liked the content, please subscribe. We are doing a 24-day seasons play series on Churn Farm. Map can be found over at FSUK. And by the time this video airs, either the update to Churn Farm will be out, or will be out very shortly. You know that that CCS 101 is working on that, and hopes to have it out very, very soon. We are actually playing this particular game day on that map, on that new update, and have been playing on that new update for several episodes now. So basically, if you go back and whatever episode we stopped taking milk to the small grocery store, that's when we updated to the new map. So be able to play this updated map very, very shortly, if not it already being out. I want to encourage you to check out the YouTube folks in my description. They are all 3 Dudes Media members, and they all put out really great farm sim content, as well as other gaming content, for the most part. If you like my style of gameplay, you may enjoy their style of gameplay also. Or maybe if you've managed to get this far in the video and you decided that you're really not too, keen on my style of gameplay, well, there's probably going to be a style of gameplay that one of those guys do that will spark your interest. Also encourage you to check out the PCSG web community. They are really a bang up group that got a dynamic hose, connects to the side there. So PCSG is a bang up web community that is there for pretty much any sim related content, be it farm sim. Oh, got a lot of milk. Be it farm sim, truck sim, flight sim, train sim. There's pretty much any simulation based content. That's the group for you to reference. They are always there to help. Will not the type of community that will tell you to go figure out your answer on your own or anything like that. So I encourage you to go check them out also. I encourage you to check out my buddy Rockhound Mods. He is the guy that did the POW truck. He's recently started streaming gameplay on his own map, Serenity Valley 2, Rise of Industry. He also did Serenity Valley. It's not called Serenity Valley 1, but it's basically Serenity Valley 1 that I did a play series on a couple months ago. I think we did 50 episodes on Serenity Valley version 4.02, I think. So that's something to check out if you like this style of gameplay. Now, on the Serenity Valley series, we didn't use seasons until the very end. I think we didn't introduce seasons until episode 10 or episode 9 or episode 40 is when we introduced seasons. And that is because that series was being filmed before Seasons was out, and Seasons came out basically around the time that we were up to episode 40. So the last 10 episodes were recorded using Seasons, but the 40 previous episodes were not. And right now I'm gearing up actually for another play series on another map. Hope to debut that series sometime in the middle of next month. Sometime in the middle of December, I hope to have those ready to start rolling out. And what that will be is we will transition out of Churn Farm and over to the new map. Haven't settled on the map quite yet, but there are several possibilities in the running. Those include Nickelandia, Director's Cut. Did a video on that. Includes Stoppenbach. Did a video on that one. Include Clover Creek. Did a video on that one. And they include, let's see here, they Slavic Village. And there's another one that I don't want to name quite yet because it's not been released. And it may or may not be released by the time that I start the series. If it's not released, it will be very soonly released before or after the series starts, I am sure. But I've got the early access to the map, and I've been given basically permission to start doing videos should I so wish. And it's a map I've been really eager to see come out. So it may very well be a map that we dive into. So I also hope that you enjoyed the. I'm saying this before it happens, but this video is obviously going to air after it's happened. So I'm kind of talking as if it really did happen. We never know; it may not actually have happened, but I hope it does. That is, I will be celebrating I will have celebrated, I should say it that way. I will have celebrated my 1-year farm sim anniversary on November 16th. And to commemorate that, I plan on doing a stream throughout the day on the 16th on the Platinum Edition map using the Platinum Edition DLC equipment. So I am recording this a few weeks before that happens. And this video will air basically a week after that release. And basically a week after that stream would have happened. So I hope that it happened. I hope everything went great with it. And with that, I'm going to bid you guys a fond farewell. Just going to continue carting milk until I empty the milk tank. Till next time, guys. Happy farming.